Hello everybody. This is a short video on a very recent full bench decision of the Honorable Bombay High Court on a very contentious issue in respect of penalty under section 271(1)(c) of the Income Tax Act. Section 271(1)(c) of the Income Tax Act provides for levy of penalty in respect of either concealment of particulars of income or furnishing of inaccurate particulars of income. Now, by its very nature, these two defaults, concealment of particulars of income or furnishing of inaccurate particulars of income, cannot coexist vis-a-vis a particular source of income. With respect to a particular source of income, either an assessee can be charged with respect to the default that he has concealed some material particulars of that income, or he can be charged that he furnished inaccurate particulars of income. For the same income, you cannot say that a person has concealed and at the same time he furnished inaccurate particulars. And therefore, the root question is, in the standard notice which is issued for the purpose of initiating these penalty proceedings, a mere failure on the part of the assessing officer to strike out the inapplicable part in the notice, will it vitiate the entire proceeding or not? Now, there are different decisions of different forums with respect to this particular issue. As far as the Honorable Bombay High Court is concerned, in a group of decisions like starting from Samson Pericheri, Goa Coastal Resort and Recreation, New Era Sova Mills, Goa Dorando Promotions, etc. These are one set of decisions which had held that irrespective of the comments in the main assessment order, if the main penalty notice is defective, that the irrelevant portion of the notice is not striked out, then the whole proceeding itself is bad. Whereas there was another set of decisions like that of Bombay High Court in Kaushalya, where it was held that where the charge on the assessee comes out from the assessment order, then a mere failure to strike out the inapplicable portion in the penalty notice will not vitiate the entire penalty proceeding. And therefore, this full bench was constituted to answer this particular issue as to whether the defect in this penalty notice could have been said to be cured by way of the findings of the assessing officer in the assessment order. In other words, where the assessment order clearly makes out that the charge is either for concealment of income or for furnishing of inaccurate particulars of income. However, in the standard notice issued, both the limbs of section 271(1)(c) are appearing, that is concealment as well as furnishing of inaccurate particulars of income. Then can this specific charge mentioned in the assessment order cure the defect in the penalty notice? This full bench decision of the Honorable Bombay High Court of 3 judges presided by Honorable Justice Dama Seshadri Naidu, they considered that to answer this particular issue, there are two aspects which need to be considered by the full bench. First is, in the decision of High Court, where it has been held in favor of the assessee that a mere non-striking of a particular limb of 271(1)(c) in the notice, does it prejudice the assessee? And secondly, the very old Supreme Court decision in case of Dilip Shroff, where Supreme Court had considered that non-striking of the irrelevant part in the notice leads to a conclusion that there is non-application of mind which affects the very initiation of the proceeding. These two aspects need to be answered by the full bench. The Honorable Full Bench at length discussed the concept of precedents in stare decisis, and almost all the decisions on this particular aspect of section 271(1)(c) were considered by this particular judgment. And after considering all these decisions, after considering the issue of prejudice and the effect of Supreme Court decision in case of Dilip Shroff, and after considering what is the precedential value of these various judgments, as to which judgment has to be given how much weightage, Honorable Bombay High Court in this full bench decision of Mohammad Farhan A. Sheikh observed that and held that, first of all, assessment order and penalty proceedings. Assessment proceeding and penalty proceedings are two different proceedings, and one cannot cure the defect in the other. Secondly, the Honorable High Court held that the assessment order gives a prima facie opinion of the assessing officer as to the launch of penalty proceeding. However, the penalty proceeding are initiated not by the assessment order but by issue of notice under section 274 read with section 271(1)(c), and therefore it is the issue of this notice which begins the penalty proceeding, and the principles of natural justice would suggest that the assessee should be informed about the specific charge on which penalty is proposed to be initiated on him only by this statutory notice under section 274 read with section 271(1)(c). Therefore, on this rationale, finally the full bench held that an omnibus notice issued in the standard form, not striking the irrelevant portion, suffers from vice of vagueness, and therefore a mere failure on the assessing officer to not strike out the irrelevant portion will vitiate the entire penalty proceedings. While coming to this conclusion, the Honorable Court was also guided by the fact that an assessee cannot be supposed to be aware of the intricacies of the law, and you cannot expect an assessee to read the entire assessment order with respect to the penalty proceeding as to what was the satisfaction recorded in the assessment order with reference to the penalty proceeding. They held that assessment proceeding and penalty proceeding are different proceedings, and once an assessment proceeding is completed, the penalty proceeding begins with the issue of the statutory notice, and therefore that statutory notice should be very specific. A standard notice issue without specifying the specific ground will vitiate the entire proceeding, and hence it will be the consequent penalty order will be bad in law. Thank you very much.